where positivity keeps on scoring, good vibes, great gifts, and stories to share. Overt Morning Show, rising with you everywhere.
You come my way.
Anybody aspiring to lead Nigeria must be someone who stands for Nigeria, not for any section.
So because Peter Obi is an opposition to Bola Tinubu,
no. There are lots of people that are in opposition to Bola Tinubu. A lot of people are wanted to be president. I never accused them of such. But he never condemned. Up to today, in eastern Nigeria, those that wanted to divide the country are calling for sit-up.
All right, Lagos, welcome back. This is the last lap of Overt Radio Breakfast Show, and this is the political update segment of that program, Overt Radio. The voice you just heard was that of the former governor of Borno State, Ali Modu Sheriff, a chieftain of the All Progressive Congress, has dismissed Peter Obi's chances in the 2027 presidential election, insisting that the former Anambra State governor will not secure the support of northern voters. Speaking on Channels Television's Politics Today, that was on Monday, Sheriff said he was not concerned about Obi's presidential ambition, despite the former Labour Party candidate's strong performance in the 2023 election. Obi, who polled more than 6 million votes to finish third in the 2023 presidential election on the platform of the Labour Party, is seeking the presidency again in 2027 under the newly registered Nigeria Democratic Congress. However, Sheriff maintained that Obi would not succeed because, according to him, the North would not vote for him. He said, and I quote, "I am not worried about Peter Obi at all because I know that Northerners will never vote for Peter Obi," Sheriff said. When reminded that Obi won substantial vote in states such as Nasarawa and Plateau during the 2023 election, Sheriff dismissed the comparison, arguing that circumstances had changed. "The situation is different now," he said, and I quote, "You know why? Peter Obi, when he was a governor, chased all the Northerners out of Anambra," and Sheriff alleged. He added, "This is what Kano people are telling Kwankwaso now, that we are always supported you, and we will support you if you run for president, but we will not support you to go with Peter Obi." Yeah, so Ali Modu Sheriff, a former governor of Borno State. Remember, Borno State is one of the troubled states in Nigeria when it comes to insecurity. Troubled state, one of the disturbed, one of the destabilized state. But thank God, due to measures put together by the current governor, Babangana Zulum, I think normalcy is gradually returned to Borno State. Remember that as even at the heat of insurgency in Borno State, some people had to leave most of the top hotspots in that state. But now that at least to an extent normalcy is returning to Borno State, and one of the question, if I'm allowed to sit Ali Modu Sheriff down here in the studio, one of the question I will ask him is that, sir, you were governor of that state for 8 years. What were the foundations that you laid down when it comes to insecurity? Now, he has made some claims that Peter Obi never condemned the activities of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, and the Eastern Security Network, ESN. He has made a claim that Peter Obi never condemned, but that is a big fat lie. That is a big fat lie. Peter Obi at several forums, Peter Obi had several locations on different platforms had outrightly condemned the activities of the IPOB and the ASN. So it is wrong for a former governor who was also a colleague, who was also a colleague to Peter Obi. It is wrong for him to come on national television to say that Peter Obi never condemned the activities of IPOB and those criminals in the southeast. It is wrong. And I was expecting the anchor Seun Okinbaloye to say that Peter Obi had at several times condemned, but he was never challenged when he made that claim. And saying that, remember, you are listening to Overt Radio. Sorry, we are broadcasting to you live from the city of Lagos. Lagos is a center of excellence. You can go to our various, in fact, we are streaming live on YouTube at the moment, Overt Radio Live. So you can go to our various social media platforms to watch these programs and all of our interviews and talk shows on our various social media platforms. On X, it is on Overt Radio Live. On Instagram, Overt News. On TikTok, overt.radio.lagos. And also we are on YouTube. We are streaming live on YouTube, Overt Radio Live. Now, coming back to the program, to the topic. For Ali Modu Sheriff, I think he was in the PDP before. I think he was a member of the PDP before the campaign to the APC. Now, for Ali Modu Sheriff to come out to say that Peter B never publicly condemned the activities of the IPOB and ESN. Now, I don't want to sectionalize this debate. I don't want to say. Now, my question will now be to him again. If I'm opportuned, to sit with him, my question would be: has he ever condemned the activities of Boko Haram in the north? At what public platform, what public event has he, that is the former governor of Borno State, Ali Modu Sheriff, what measures has he taken personally towards the fight against insecurity in this country? If he is accusing a former colleague of his, if he's accusing his former colleague of saying that person, that is Peter Obi, never condemned the activity of IPOB and ASN in the southeast, because I will bring out some reports when Obi, publicly condemned the activities of IPOB and those criminal elements in the southeast. So my question now is: has Ali Modu Sheriff, has he ever publicly condemned activities, the criminal activities in the northeast? And also, what efforts did he make? What effort did he make towards the fight against insecurity? Like his northern brothers in the Senate yesterday, calling on the federal government to put a stop, to suspend the rehabilitation of repentant Boko Haram terrorists. So, what measures, what activities, what are the things that Ali Modu Sheriff did towards the fight against insecurity? Because if you are criticizing somebody, you should also check yourself. You should also check yourself. So it is wrong, I stand here to say that it is wrong for Ali Modu Sheriff to appear on national TV to say that Peter Obi never condemned the activities of Boko Haram. IPOB rather. There have been reports in the media, there have been reports online in the newspaper, there have been publications in the newspaper when Peter Obi publicly condemned criminal activities associated with the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, specifically the sit-at-home that he mentioned, disruptions and violence in the southeast. In July 2023, which is Peter Obi's condemnation, Obi explicitly described the sit-at-home directive by a faction of IPOB as a criminal activity that causes innocent people to suffer. He stated that while IPOB had publicly denied issuing the directive, the resulting disruption of businesses and social activities was unacceptable and must be nipped in the bud. So is that not condemnation? Obi, in the same statement, Obi called for a more strategic, intelligence-driven approach by security agencies and stakeholders to stop killings in the southeast, in Benue, in Plateau, emphasizing that mindless bloodletting is worrisome. Again, Obi has previously stated that he would deal with all agitators decisively through dialogue and engagement, but would remove and deal with criminals operating under the cover as criminals. He has also stressed that he is not a supporter of IPOB and that leadership failures contribute to such agitations. So where is the proof that Ali Modu Sheriff has or had to say that Peter Obi never condemned the activities of Boko Haram? I'm sorry, I keep saying Boko Haram, of IPOB in the southeast. In the southeast. In another publication on the Leadership newspaper, this is 3 years ago, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, has reacted to spate of killings in the southeast and the north central, saying the rising insecurity in the country leading to mindless bloodletting, particularly in the north central zone of the country, and the continued disruption of businesses and social activities in the southeast were becoming very worrisome. So this was carried out by a leadership publication. This leadership is a national daily. So how come is Ali Modu Sheriff saying that Peter Obi never condemned the activities of IPOB and ESN, in the southeast? So I would boldly say here that Ali Modu Sheriff just came on national television to dehumanize Peter Obi. In 2023, January 2023. Now, this is a publication done by Business Day. In January 2023, Peter Obi, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, says he will deal with the indigenous people of Biafra's IPOB protest by being a better leader. He revealed this while discussing his vision for policy and governance reforms in Nigeria at the Chatham House, United Kingdom. Obi said, and I quote, according to the report, IPOB and other agitations in the country are a culmination of years of bad leadership. All those things will start reversing themselves when the leadership problem is sorted. And I and Dati will talk with all agitators. It is bad, and it is as a result of injustice, unfairness, and marginalization. As soon as you resolve these issues, it starts going down. We would show compassion. We would show love. We would lead from the front, Obi said. So this is another prominent publication when Obi, condemned the activities of IPOB and the ESN in the southeast. Now, according to a report, again, I mean, I'm digging out all the reports that Ali Modu Sharif said that Obi never condemned the activities of IPOB and ESN, in the country. This one refused to come up. So, and he also said that the North will not vote for Peter Obi. Again, this is a caveat. Remember that I am not a supporter of any political candidate, of any presidential candidate, or any politician. We don't support any political party here in the station. We are a neutral media outfit. We present facts and figures based on how we meet them, based on how we see them. The reason why I am countering what Ali Modu Sharif said is for the truth to be known. We are a true station. We are a station that is based on truth and conscience. The reason why I am attacking or criticizing or countering what Ali Modu Sharif said during his interview on Channels Television is that what he told Nigerians, what he told the world was false. Peter Obi had at all times criticized or condemned, based on the word he used, condemned the activities of IPOB and ESN, in the southeast. Now, according to a report by the Whistler.ng, this was in 2022, August 1, 2022. A Facebook post claims that the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, has been quiet about the activities of the indigenous people of Biafra for a number of years. The post shared on July 23, 2022 by a Nigerian-born Sunday Adelaja, the founding pastor of the Embassy of the Blessed Kingdom of God for All Nations, Ukraine. He said, and I quote, according to the report, "I can't see Peter Obi's statement against the excesses of Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB." That is because I don't want to use that word. Rather, I saw him defending IPOB on Channels TV, saying he disagrees with the government designating them as a terrorist organization. How can someone with a clear conscience defend IPOB and not apologize to other Nigerians? You cannot spend years keeping quiet about the degrading of all tribes and nationalities in Nigeria and now expect them to vote for you. These are just political statements. Now, countering what Adelaja said, a Twitter user known as Queen of Trolls also asked a rhetorical question on Obi's posting position on the perpetrating terrorism in Southeast. Please, has anyone seen the post of Obi strongly condemning IPOB terrorists? Okay, this is just a follow-up to what Adelaja said. So there have been several forums. There have been several public events, either on social media or on television, an interview on radio station. Obi had at all times, condemned the activities of IPOB. This is just to correct the wrong. This is just to correct the claim, the allegations made by Ali Modu Sharif. Now, coming to the voting, that North will not vote for Peter Obi. Remember, like I said earlier, I am not a supporter of any political party or any politician. But what I'm here to say is that Ali Modu Sharif has no right. I mean, what is the level of his leadership in the North for him to say that the North will not vote for Peter Obi? Is he the one that will vote for that? Is he the only one that will vote in the North in 2027? Just like I read earlier in the short story, Peter Obi won in 2 states in the North, defeated other candidates. So Ali Modu Sharif does not have the moral standard, does not have the legal stand to say that the North will not vote for Peter Obi. Okay, Okay, he doesn't have that moral standard. He doesn't have that impetus, that authority. He doesn't speak for the North. He's not a member of the Arewa Consultative Forum, the ACF, and the Arewa, leaders, the modern leaders in the North. So for a singular individual to parade himself and say that the North will not vote for Peter Obi, leave that decision for the Northerners. Leave that decision for the voters in the North. Let them decide who they will vote for. Is it because of the claim that he made that because Peter Obi did not condemn the activities of the Southeast, but was always pointing accusing fingers on what is going in the North? And he also claimed that I even forgot. He also claimed that Peter Obi drove Northerners in the state. That claim is yet to be ascertained. It's yet to be clarified. It's yet to be, it's yet to be investigated. So it is wrong for him to say that. It is wrong for him to come to national television to say that Obi never condemned the activities of IPOB. Obi, while he was governor of Anambra State, drove all the Northerners out of the state. That's a big fat lie, man. That's a big fat lie. You shouldn't have said that. You shouldn't have said that. That's a big fat lie. Allow the Northerners to decide who they will vote for. You are not in the presidential race. You are not in the senatorial race. You are not in the governorship race. You are not in any elective. You are not in any elective, post or race in the 2027 general elections. Let those that are contesting for the presidency leave that headache to them. You don't have the right to come on television and start discrediting or dehumanizing somebody despite the things you said were all false. The records are there, the documents are there to tell you that, to show that Obi had at all times condemned the activities of IPOB in the Southeast. So, despite these condemnations of criminal acts and disruptions, for former Borno State Governor Ali Modu Sheriff did allege that a claim Obi supporters and fact checkers have disputed based on his specific statement regarding criminal violence and his general comment to Nigeria's unity. So you can go online for references. You can go online to check what if Obi did condemned, but I just give you some of the stories, some of the documents that recorded that Obi had at all times condemned the activities of IPOB and the ESN in the Southeast. So that claim made by the former governor of Borno State has been discredited, has been disputed. That claim is false and should be wiped off from the media entirely, because it is not something that should be debated upon, for God's sake. And saying that the North will not vote for Peter Obi, that shouldn't be what should be on ground. I mean, I expect Ali Modu Sheriff to join his political friends in ensuring that, giving a backing, supporting senators whom yesterday said that the federal government should halt or should suspend the rehabilitation of Boko Haram terrorists in the country. This should be what senators should be doing. This should be what politicians from the North should be doing. Because security is vital to the progress of this country. And it should be everybody's business. It should be every governor's business. It should be every minister's, every aspiring leader's business in ensuring that insecurity is curbed to the barest minimum. All right, Lagos, that is how far I can go this morning. in case you just joined us, this is Overt Radio. This is the political update here on Overt Radio. I promise to bring you more exciting package next. That is tomorrow. Remember, on Friday, in view of this xenophobic attack in South Africa, I have a South African friend that I will be interviewing here live and direct on Overt Radio, who will give us a what is actually going on in South Africa. We have heard so many narratives that South Africa hates Nigerian, South African hates Ghanaian, South Africa hates foreign nationals in their country. So we will be hearing the true source of information from South Africa. So don't go anywhere. By 9 o'clock, I guess, 9 o'clock,